What is this thing called? A cabin? What do you guys call it?
Bungalow is what it says on. It says bungalow dorf.
So we're in a bungalow dorf at Superbooth.
Yeah.
In Fez, Germany, and I just met Rob Schwimmer. I walked into this room and I heard like the best playing of an electronic instrument maybe ever.
Don't look at me.
He did it, and he played an excerpt from a piece by Olivier Messiaen. Why don't you just tell me the origin of the music and then dive right into it, because it's about the music, and then we can talk for a second.
Okay. Most people know this piece, those who do know it, as part of Messiaen's Quartet for the End of Time. In that incarnation of it, which I think most people think is the original, it's a cello and piano duet, with the cello, of course, doing the melody. But in fact, it was written before Messiaen went into the prison camp and wrote the rest of the Quartet for End of Time. Originally, it was for Six Ondes Martenot, but those are monophonic. So it took 6 people to play something that I can sort of now do here by myself.
And they're electronic instruments.
Yes, they were one of the
Let's say.
first early electronic instruments, along with theremins around that.
Because we're talking like the 30s, right?
30s, yeah.
Yeah, in the 20th century. And Rob just plays it on the continuum.
What do I say? Yeah, I play this piece because I just love it so much. The harmonies are just so sumptuous. It's something just, yeah.
You know what,
I love it.
As a keyboard player, you can play it like an Ondes Martenot player, which means you can move the pitch around and you have independence of pitch and sliding pitches and also tone quality independent of each finger, which you can't really do on a piano. And Rob, as a very fine pianist in a lot of different styles, and also a player of the theremin, which is monophonic, now he's combining those two worlds together, and you're seeing kind of a one-of-a-kind thing that's really indicative of 2024, that these worlds are colliding, and you're the player that's really putting it together. I've never seen anyone really put it together.
Thank you so much.
Oh, I really mean it.
Thank you. I really mean it too. One last thing that that the continuum does is each finger is individually, the volume is controlled by pressure. So the way you play a chord can be, you're leaning this way or that way to bring out this note, bring out that note. So volume is also individually controlled.
Why don't you just do a quick demonstration of one note before you dive in?
And it goes from silence to ultra quiet. There's a world between really quiet and silence that this thing allows you to do. Just so where you don't hear anything, listen.
I'm watching the meters here. Wow.
And to be able to fade out like that, into silence just smoothly is just nothing like it.
And no knob.
No knobs. Just right here, if it works.
And something that you've developed over years and years and decades, like developing that, the proprioception that happens, like the ability of a human to move things independently from each other. And you really worked on it. It's not like just turning a knob, like anybody can do it. You've developed these fine skills with your fingertips, as a pianist and a musician, and the instrument receives that and controls an electronic signal now at that level, right? That's what's happening.
It's also an amazing thing just when you think about being alive at this moment and me being able to meet this instrument. What if the greatest violinist that ever lived 100 years before it was invented? So we have to be, also grateful for we're here now, and this thing that I seem to hit it off with well, we're here alive at the same time. So that's nice too.
Yeah. Well, we've held back long enough.
All right. Here we go. mosquito landed on my finger. You know, I once had a wasp land on my hand when I was playing with the orchestra of St. Luke's outside. That was interesting.
That was a nice move, removing that insect. Incredible. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I've never heard anyone play an electronic sound with that level of expression. And it's a magnificent piece of music.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Olivier Messiaen excerpt from one of his most famous pieces. Thank you, Rob.
Oh,
yeah. It's
my
just been
pleasure.
a pleasure to walk in here and have a chance to capture that moment.
Thank you so much.